Well, we've had 35 entries, and we've reduced it to 7, and today we reduced it to 3. And I have to say, the great thing about them is that they're international. They're all of an incredible high caliber. They're technically very good. And most of all, you can see they're committed by what they've said in writing to us and presenting. So I think we have 3 very strong candidates who, one is an engineer, one is an architect, one's an artist. It's very good that we have covered the bases because they have to do a lot of work. They have to reinvent an idea of the site. They have to communicate with people driving at 70 miles an hour who have something else on their mind, and they can't be so exciting they drive off the road. They have to communicate something really important and deep about Scotland. They have to be visually exciting. You have to want to stop and get out of the car and climb up and look at them up close. And so, in short, they have to do everything for everybody, which of course is an impossible commission, but we think we have 3 of the best candidates to perform. For Gretna, it's very, of course, poignant because Gretna has a great history and tradition of being the meeting place of people from the north and the south who have fought each other for maybe hundreds of years, who've had deep tragedies, who've been overlooked, who've been driven through and driven over in what are called debatable lands, who have had the tragedy in the First World War, who've had a wonderful rebirth, though, in the First World War too, in the new town. And it's full of history here. So for the Gretna people, I think it's part of the long-term growth of this history, which has gone up and down, back and forth. And in a way, the project comes out of that because the River Sark, which you don't really see as you drive past, is something that divides Scotland from England, but it's now something that we hope will unify these 2 cultures. Scotland as a whole is a wonderful question because there are 5 million Scots who live in Scotland, and there are 40 million Scots, that's a very rubbery figure, who live around the world. And so one of the great things about this project is that when they come to Scotland, when as many of them do from around the world, and they drive up the motorway on their way north to visit their ancestors' home, they will see, we hope, some symbol that makes them very excited and happy they've returned, and meaningful for what Scotland is today. I mean, what is meaningful for Scotland today? It's a small country in terms of people, but it's a very big country in terms of imagination. It's punched way above its weight in cultural terms. It has the greatest mountains and waters that you can find almost anywhere. They say it's got, when you ask people how long is the coastline of Scotland, it's a trick question because the answer is it's infinite as a fractal. So Scotland, with its great geology and history, is a challenge, and I think this project, if it works out as we hope, will meet that challenge and produce a symbol that calls on many of the things I've just said.